Assalamu alaikum. My name is Abdul Khalik Darwish. One thing which is known to almost everybody, most the people who are interested in knowing how to live successfully here in this world, how to improve their life. And that one thing is called self confidence. Self confidence is considered as one of the most important factors, in the successful life. It is considered as a as a as an essential ingredient. Self confidence is considered as an essential ingredient for a successful life. Those do have the self confidence, they have far better chances of success in their life, chances of happiness in their life, chances of strength in their life. But those who are lacking the self confidence, they are leading a miserable life. They are unable to move forward, unable to succeed, unable to develop, and unable to achieve whatever they are desirous of achieving. So, for all of these reasons, self confidence is by far one of the most important factors in the life. So now, if at all a person is unable to develop the self confidence in themselves, in their life, it actually means that there are certain things which are not allowing them to become a self confident person. And this is very important for us to understand what are those important reasons which are not allowing this person to develop themselves as a self confident person. And as soon as we succeed in identifying those, we will be able to remove those as well. So we need to identify, we need to develop, we need to identify, and we need to remove those hurdles on the way to the self confidence. And this is going to be the topic of our today's discussion. Like every discussion, I have included a very useful, beneficial article on the subject, so it could work as an expert's opinion, because those people who have done quite a lot of research on the different subjects, I think they must be consulted while discussing the issue, one or the other one. So let's look upon this article, which has been captioned as people who lacks confidence people who lack confidence usually have these 11 limiting behaviors, limiting beliefs. People who lack confidence usually have these 11 limiting beliefs. We need to find out those limiting beliefs on the one hand, and then of course we need to do something. To remove it as well. So let's look upon those 11 limiting beliefs. First of all, the author says, the first limiting belief is, I can't do it. I can't do it. So that is that is the first limiting belief, that I can't do it. And it actually does not allow us, does not permit us to develop the self confidence. My dear friends and fellows, I think that is absolutely wrong. We must not be thinking, must not be believing in this, that I can't do this. Instead, we need to keep saying repeatedly in our mind and heart, I can do that. I can do that. I can do that. We need to keep saying this thing repeatedly until and unless it does enter our subconscious mind. And once it does enter in our subconscious mind, that I can do that, yes, I can do that, yes, I can do that. So this will make us quite an empowering person, and we will develop an empowering belief instead of the limiting belief. And number 2, the author says, I don't belong mean nobody takes the ownership of me, nobody owns me. And that is again a very disempowering and very limiting belief. We need to eradicate it. How can we do this? We need to start saying, I belong to myself first and foremost. I belong to myself first and foremost. I will find a tribe where I am valued in the same way I value myself. Instead of believing that I don't belong, we need to start believing that yes, I belong to myself first and foremost, and then I shall be able to find, I shall be able to find I shall be able to find a tribe, a tribe where I am valued in the same way I value myself. Very important indeed. Number three, the limiting belief, the disempowering belief. Number three, the system is rigged. The system is rigged, mean there is no level playing field, there is no justice, and for that reason, of course, I cannot become a confident person. Of course, I cannot succeed at all. Instead, we need to start believing the system is not in my control, and I need to stop using it as an excuse. Yes, indeed, the system is not in my control, but I need to stop using it as an excuse, because I do have to keep improving myself. So that was the limiting and the disempowering belief. Number three. Now the fourth disempowering limiting belief is, the word is against me. The word is against me. Again, we need to eradicate this thing out of our mind, out of our beliefs, and we need to start thinking resistance and problems of all, resistance and problem of all the people, and nobody is without that. Although the kind of resistance, the kind of problem somebody is facing in their life, somebody is facing in their quest for success, it could be different from case to case, but the resistance and the problems are there in the life of everyone else. Now, the fifth disempowering and the limiting belief is, nobody understands me. Nobody understands me. And this is actually a victim mentality. And any victim mentality means the failure and the failure and the disempowerment and the limiting situation. So we need to get out of that victim mentality. We need to get out of that victim mentality. As Saint Francis said, seek not so much to be understood as to understand. So, here the Saint Francis said that don't worry much about why you are not understood well and properly. Instead, do everything else you can do to understand the people around you in a better way, and this will automatically result that you will be liked and loved by the people, because you understand them, because you genuinely make effort to understand the people. Now the limiting and the disempowering belief. Number 6 is, I am not good enough. I am not good enough. Again, it is a highly disempowering and limiting belief. We need to stop believing in that. Instead, we need to say something, and that is that Alhamdulillah, I am good enough, and I am further developing myself. I am always striving and struggling to become a better person, to become skilled enough in my work, in my profession, in the thing which I am which I need to do. So for all those reasons, I am good enough, but I am not perfect, and nobody is perfect. Nobody can become a perfect, though I am not perfect, but I am good enough. And the reason behind becoming a good enough is that I am constantly trying to improve myself, constantly trying to be a better person, to be a better as a person, and better in my profession as well. Now, the limiting and the disempowering belief. Number 7 is, other people are better than me. Yes, of course, everybody is better than me in one way or the other, but I too am better than the other people in one way or another. Why? because everybody has certain strengths, everybody has certain weaknesses, and because of these certain strengths, everybody has certain opportunities. Because of different sort of weaknesses, everybody have different sort of threats as well. So I am not different from other people. If at all someone else is better than me in one way, I too am better than other in another way, and that is the law of nature. So that is the law of nature. The trouble, another trouble with this belief, with this limiting and disempowering belief is that it becomes a self fulfilling prophecy, and other people automatically and definitely become better than me. Now, the eighth disempowering and limiting belief is I don't have the resources I need. I don't have the resources I need. That is highly disempowering and limiting belief. Why? Because the very basic resource everybody have is their time. Because the time is life. If at all nobody has the time, nobody have the list mean that they don't have the life. Because the life is given to us in the shape of the years, in the shape of the months and the weeks, in the shape of the days and the hour. If at all I do have the hours and the days, the weeks and the month, the years and the decade, it actually means that I do have the biggest ever resource. Also, if at all I do have the physical energy, again I have the second biggest resource in myself with me as well. So I think that as far the biggest resources are concerned, the biggest single resource in the world is the time and the life. The life. If at all somebody is not alive and they were a billionaire, what is the use of that? Even if at all they do have the trillions, but the life is gone, they are absolutely resourceless. And if at all somebody have no physical energy, no physical energy, they are lying in the bed all the time. So what is the use of that? So I do have the biggest resources. The number one biggest resource is of course the life and the time, and the second biggest resource in the world is the energy, the power in me, in my organs, in my limbs. I think so. I am, alhamdulillah, I do have the very basic of the resources. Number nine, disempowering and limiting belief is I can't recover from my past trauma. Again, it is highly wrong. Why? Because I need to take responsibility for my life and my moving forward. I need to focus. I need to focus on developing a plan for my life, and developing a plan for my life, and then concentrating upon fulfilling this plan. I need to focus. I need to concentrate upon it, and I need to stop thinking about my past, because the past are regrets with almost everyone else. Almost, not necessarily 100%, but most of the people, they have plenty and plenty of regrets as far their past is concerned. Now, in the future too, they do have certain fears in their life. So I think that if at all, I my dear friend, if at all I want to develop and to prosper, if at all I want to, prior to that, I need to put myself in an empowering state of mind. So, all what I need to do is that I need to focus and concentrate upon my today instead of paying much of the attention to my past and the future. And now the tenth limiting and the disempowering belief is I will never find love. I will not be loved. I will not be cared. Again, it's absolutely wrong, because nobody is uniquely granted the love, because nobody is uniquely barred from love. It depends upon ourselves. And first of all, we need to love other people. If at all we are distributing the love, if at all we love other people, I believe very strongly that we will be reaping the love in return as well. And that is a kind of and that is a kind of law of nature. And now 11th and the last disempowering belief is life has no real point. That is another disempowering and debilitating and limiting belief. I think that that is absolutely wrong. We need to replace it with life has a purpose, and so do I. Life has a purpose, and so do I. Every day I move closer to finding it. Life has a purpose, and I have a purpose too. I am moving closer to find it. Every day I am moving closer to find it. That was, believe me or not, one of the finest article I ever came across in my life. I think we need to write it into the golden word, and we need to work a lot. We need to take it as an advantage. All of that is written here in the description as well. Thank you.